Here we go. We're recording. It's podcast time. Introduce yourself, assholes.
What's good, everybody? Sir, I'm Jago. Coming back, kid.
The comeback.
Even though all right, never mind. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't here the first time, but
What was
It's
that?
actually like my first time in this motherfucker, actually.
Right?
Never been on a podcast before.
It happens.
exactly.
Hey, little kid, introduce yourself. People don't know. They just hear a name or they just hear a voice.
I am Jaro. That's it.
He is J-Ro, indeed. And Jago, since this is your first time being on one like a podcast or something, man, give us a little oh, hold on. As far as other person is joined. What's up, Luckdinar?
Hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
No,
You're a
not
little
really.
low, though.
Nice. Hello.
Never mind.
Right? You're a little low.
Greetings from Germany.
Nice. Good to have you, man. Good to have you. We got,
That's a
some-
joke.
Oh, what's up?
got a lot of new people on the show today to discuss some MK. Anyways, Jago, give us a little background about yourself, man. Tell us how you got involved in fighting games and all of that shit.
In terms of fighting games, homie, I've been doing this shit since like high school, homie. It's kind of been a little while. Like one of my dear friends introduced me to like a couple of people. Oh, damn, dropped the headphone. But yeah, my bad. As I was saying, fucking one of my friends introduced me to a couple people in the FGC, and they were playing Street Fighter and shit. They weren't playing
okay.
Mortal Kombat at the time. They were
What
playing,
scene is this? Where are
Street
you
Fighter.
from, by the way?
I'm from New York.
Okay, so that way
Queens.
everyone knows when you say a couple of
Sounds like
homies got you in the FGC, it's very notable homies in New York that'll get you involved.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes, dog. It depends on the kind of crowd you choose to surround yourself with.
So do you?
I guess
compete
I
at
just got lucky.
Do you compete at next level regularly?
Yeah, I used to compete at next level pretty regularly at one point during MKX and Killer Instinct as well.
Nice. So you got to hang out with let's see who's over there. So Sonic is over
I've-
there. Perfect
I've
Legend is
known
over there.
Sonic.
Wait,
know
Perfect
Sonic.
Legend play that?
Yeah, Perfect Legend goes to next level sometimes.
Oh,
Perfect Legend going to next level, yes. Playing Killer Instinct, hell no. I don't think I've ever seen him ever
yeah,
touch that game before in my
I don't
life.
think he ever-
Yeah.
I think the guy that ran Killer Instinct over there was like the CD Junior and his brother, right? Those guys were just
Yeah.
handling Killer Instinct.
Oh hell yeah, yo, CD Junior was OD,
Yeah,
especially during season 1.
yeah. Those guys are what? They're like they're from the Caribbean, right? They're like Jamaican or where are they from?
Nah, they Spanish.
Spanish. Okay.
They Spanish as fuck, bro.
I thought
Have
they
you
was
seen
like
these?
Caribbean and shit though.
I've heard them. I have
I
heard
thought
them
they were
get
like
mad, bro.
Cuban
He-
or
he-
something or Puerto
No.
Rican.
I think it's Puerto Rican.
That's
Or
Caribbean,
no,
right?
no.
That's in the Caribbean.
I said I
don't
think.
know. I really don't know.
Look, I fell asleep during geography. All right.
Puerto Rico, man. That's Gulf of Mexico, man. That's like not the Gulf of Mexico.
They're from. I want to
That's
say
just the
they're
Caribbean.
They're from the Dominican Republic, if I'm not mistaken.
That's Caribbean as well. Did you not play Assassin's Creed 4?
Not as much. I mean, not really.
Oh, okay.
I tried. I honestly tried, but it didn't go
No.
so well.
That's sick though that you were at next level because like I only know the next level guys from when they would come out to SoCal. So I met like FC Jago. I met like who else? I've hung out with Yipes, like
Oh,
some
you
of those guys.
met FC. You know, funny enough, I actually met him at Mash Fest.
Really?
Oh.
He's not
Yeah.
even doing shit no more. Really, like I haven't heard much out of him. He used to be
Nah,
a big
nah,
content
nah.
creator back in the day.
Yeah, he was pretty big on Marvel, and eventually, when he fell off, I just randomly appeared, and I just chose that name straight off of just Killer Instinct because that was one of my favorite characters. And apparently, one day at one night, I actually ended up running into the guy at Mash Fest, and he was actually watching me play.
Really?
And he was like, "So you're the Jago that I've been hearing so much about." Dude shook my
Damn. That's cool,
dude shook
though.
my hand and everything, and we were just talking, chilling ever since.
FC Jago is one of the funniest dudes on the fucking planet. Like legit, when I fucking met him, and it was like briefly, like we were outside. I was having a cigarette or something. We were at Wednesday night fights. One of the few times that he came out to SoCal, and I'm just like chilling in the circle of homies, like talking shit, and like he's the funniest fucking motherfucker. That fool had everybody. He's like up there with the Yipes as far as like, dude, if you're going to the New York scene, like you need to kick it with Jago and you need to kick it with Yipes. I mean, Yipes is like automatic
Yipes.
though. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to hang out with Yipes.
Of course, I've hung out with Yipes before. Hell, yo, dude, I had rivalries with that dude at motherfucking next level, homie. It was kind of back and forth. Like I think I got matched up with him. Like I want to say three, maybe four times. At
In
one
Marvel
point.
or MK?
Mortal Kombat X.
Oh wow, I didn't know he played MK. Makes sense that he would play
Yeah.
X though.
Yeah, he played Cassie, and I was using Dragon's Fire Liu Kang.
What was that? J-Ro?
No, that was looked on there.
Oh, what'd you say, Luck?
Yeah, nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, like we did kind of go into Jago's background. What about
I
your
don't know
background?
anyone from New York, to be honest.
Sorry, we got caught because I know a lot
Yeah.
of the people Jago's talking about, so I'm like, oh shit, I haven't seen this guy in forever. But Luck
Yeah,
Denard,
bro, I used to fight against Yipes all
Yeah.
the time.
right? Luck Denard, give us a little bit of background on yourself. Sorry, we were like caught up in the moment. What's the scene like in Germany, my man?
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know,
word.
actually.
Yo, my man's. How good is your
Man,
chopper? Run that shit. I've heard stories.
I started playing Street Fighter 2 when I was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, 3 or 4 years old.
What?
On my
Yeah,
shit.
Super,
that's crazy.
what's called Super Nintendo, SNES.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then it went
had
up
one
and
of them shits,
down,
too?
you know. Then I quit playing these games and start again when I was 13 with Soul Calibur 3.
Oh,
was
okay.
game. Yeah, and
Oh,
I never played that.
lucky
then
bastard.
went
I never got to
on
play
and
that. I
off,
only played Soul
on and
Calibur
off.
2.
But I really got into it when I was like 17 with MKX. Then
Okay.
17.
there was some, yeah. And I had some friends
Hmm.
playing with me, then local friends. We were around 3 or 4 people and played like every weekend. And yeah, then I got better than them.
Yo,
I
don't you
quit,
hate that shit, Lucknar?
What?
Like, don't you hate that kind of shit where, like, you just chilling, minding your business, just learning the fighting games, and your friends come along who don't know shit, and you just beat the fuck out of them, and they just stop playing with you?
Yeah, that was
Bro, I lost so many friends during Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance,
Yeah.
and I didn't even have Liu Kang.
For me, it was Soul Calibur too, but I can relate.
Aw, shit.
that one friend of mine, that one friend who was the only one who got so serious than me. Now, since he knew that better than him, he completely stopped playing fighting games. We don't even talk about it since then.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
no.
the curse we all go through, man. That's why we end
Yeah,
up doing
I
this
don't
shit.
know.
That's probably why
Yeah.
Jago went to tournaments, because, like, eventually, like, all your friends that get you into fighting games, eventually you surpass them, and then they don't want to play anymore, and now you're by yourself, and you're like, fuck, who do I play this shit with? This shit's fun. And that's when you start
Yeah,
looking for
yeah.
tournaments and shit, and you're like, fuck, I gotta find
Yeah.
someone
But
to
these
play.
were the best times, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah,
that- yeah.
it sounds a lot more dramatic than it actually was, but yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone quit playing the games, and I stuck with it. That's it. Some take it seriously over the
I never
time.
went to a scene like in Houston. There's nothing.
There's a scene
Well, like
in
not
Houston.
in it was no, I don't think so. And if it is, it's like a really small one.
No, there's like a couple of little pockets in Texas. I know a lot of Texas likes to go to Austin, Dallas.
Yeah, there's
Austin and
or
Dallas are the like the
yeah.
big ones, but I know there's a scene in Houston, and I know there's like a notable scene in San Antonio. And then,
San Antonio, really?
yeah, San Antonio. There's a scene out there. I don't know how big it is. I don't think it's as big as like Houston, but obviously Austin and Dallas are like the big ones for the Texas
Yeah.
area. But a lot of the Texas cats, they like to go to like Atlanta and they fuck around with the last round crew a lot. But like it's
Speaking of Texas, my fault real quick.
Oh,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
let you finish. But
No, go
a
ahead.
shout out to Mash House real quick. My homeboy Morton.
Oh yeah, Mash House. That was the big one. They're
Yeah,
still
I didn't
around
go there.
in
I didn't go to it. Like,
More than if you
heard about
if you hearing this, keep doing your thing, homie.
Right. Shout outs to Mash House. I like the that was like during like MK9 and MKX was like everybody coming out with their own little like clan houses. I know that was when like Yomi was big and then
Oh
Mash House and
God,
all them.
Yomi, oh shit! I actually had the distinctive honor of fighting against one of the motherfuckers.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Like cuz like I
well,
know Slayer
that was
like
one
for
hell of a
years.
party.
So like that's like the only person out of Yomi that I've ever met, but I know that Yomi dude they went full esports, man. It's kind of cool how they set up cuz like when MK came out, like I guess the guy that ran Yomi just like had money like that. So he went and recruited like the best players he could find and like bought a house and like tried to make a whole like Korean esports style dojo system. And I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know why it fell apart. I didn't really like follow it that much.
It was cool as fuck, and let me tell you something. It was working.
Yeah, I don't know why it fell apart. I don't know what happened. I don't know any drama or anything.
I can answer this question very, very simply, and I've also experienced this. Have you ever seen the Titanic?
Yes.
oh,
And there you
that's
have
heavy.
it.
Oh,
They
yeah.
they hit an iceberg.
Yep, they were like,
Yeah.
nah, we getting through this iceberg. We got one too many top tier players on this motherfucking ship. We going through this motherfucker. No, you're not.
Damn.
No, you're not. You're thinking. Unfortunately.
Damn.
And I
Yeah.
loved the fuck out of that team. That's happened to me before. When honestly, like first thing I did when I got out of high school, I built my own fucking team for Killer Instinct, MK, Marvel, Tekken, you name it.
Yeah.
And then well, just like I said with Yomi. Hello, Iceberg. How you doing?
See, and like that's the thing, cause like those kind of like esports organizations, they pop up and then they disappear, and that's why I never participated and like tried to join any of them. Like the only one I like ever really like said that I was allied with or like a part of was IEBG, Inland Empire Battlegrounds, and that was like the clan or the organization, the team that Mondo, the streamer that did all of Wednesday Night Fights, that was his like team. And it was like me and like three other people because we knew Mondo personally. And so we were like, yeah, Mondo, we'll run your tag. You know, like we wore his shirts and shit. But that was it. And it was only because I'm like, I was friends with him.
The team. I remember the team jerseys. Shit, you just took me back.
Right? We used to wear jerseys and shit. And like we would go to, like I remember we went to Evolution and we were all wearing the IEBG shirts. And then like our most notable player was fucking Anton Filipino, man. And he rolls up in a fucking Mad Cats shirt. And we're like, what the fuck, you piece of shit?
You remember when Mad Cats was just built different?
Right.
They just had
when
they
had
just
sticks.
had shit.
Mad Cats had
Yo.
sticks.
They had everything.
Right? And this motherfucker Filipino man, he got picked up by Mad Cats, right? And he's like, I'm on Daigo's team. And he shows up with a Mad Cat shirt. And we're like, what the fuck, dog? We trained your ass up. We got you to that level. You now rocking the IEBG shirt. And so I gave him shit for that for so fucking long. I'm like, you fucking sellout. Fucking Mad Cat sellout. Turning on the homies.
My man's got in the bus and just immediately ran your ass over.
Right? I mean, we weren't hating. We were like, good for you, man. Because, like, Anton, you know, he's the homie. He's a really talented player. So we were all happy that he got picked up by Mad Cats when he did. But I was certainly going to give him an earful. I was like, man, all the shit Mondo did for you, you're just going to sign with Mad Cats. And he's like, dude, what did Mondo give us? He gave me a monster. And I was like, it was a free monster.
A free monster?
You didn't have to pay for that monster.
Here.
What the fuck did Mad Cats give you? Tournament stick. Okay, but we got monster drinks. That was the extent of our sponsorship. Like fucking Mondo, like I guess he knew like a Monster rep, and he got like 4 cases of Monster energy drinks and like handed them out to us, and we're like, awesome, man. We're coming up, man. We're full on esports now. We're fucking sponsored by Monster.
Yeah.
That's the extent of sponsorships. I don't think people realize exactly like how destitute the FGC is. Since you're from Next Level, man, you kind of know. You're like, dude, those guys don't make no fucking money. Those sponsored players are fucking broke, bro.
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, but don't get me wrong. There was some that was definitely bringing money in, and those were the ones that everybody and their mother was fighting tooth and nail to just be a part of, and it just didn't work out because eventually even that just dropped.
Yeah, but if you look at the scene, like the guys that are making money, like Ipes is probably making a good living, or Yipes, not Ipes. Yipes is probably making a good living, but it's not from competition. It's from being a content creator. I think really the only two people who are making money in fighting games as a competitor is probably Sonic Fox and Daigo. You could maybe put Punk in there, but like even then, like I don't think Punk really makes most of his money from playing Street Fighter. It's pretty much Daigo and Sonic Fox.
Tokido maybe
I,
as well.
Tokido,
yeah,
Tokido probably making money off of it.
hello.
But he's
How
doing
long-
content
how long
creation
have
too.
they come up
Tokido's
from?
all about his stream now. He doesn't
Stop
really
watching his videos.
like he does compete, but he's mostly about his stream and his little fucking him and Momochi, right? They're both about their dojos more than anything now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, they're just more like lab rats nowadays.
Yeah, like I think it's
When I-
just Daigo and Sonic, really.
Yeah, because they're still doing YouTube content now, putting up exhibitions, tournament videos, and shit.
See, but
so
yeah, like that's the way to go. Like, how is the scene out in
that's what
Germany?
it is.
Look?
I actually wanted to ask about that. You still never
Yeah.
answered my question about my chocolate, though. I want to throw hands.
Ooh, German chocolate, don't fuck around.
Actually,
What's up? You're breaking up.
Breaking up a little bit on me. Yeah, I can hear it. At first, I thought it was me, because I deadass dropped my headphone at that moment.
Right? Oh, Chad is asking, what about Ninja Killer or Dragon? I don't think either of them are making full-time income off of competing. I'm pretty sure they have other jobs. Ninja Killer and Dragon, like people don't look at the reality of it, right? They don't look at the finances. It's like Sonic Fox from winning the fucking the Final Combat tournament won like what 60 grand. That's like how much you make working in IT. Like that's good money, but that's not big money. I mean, and that's from one tournament, clearly. If he wins a couple of tournaments, now you're starting to look at a six-figure income. But that's one dude winning one tournament. Like, the money in competition isn't there. The real money is in content creation, man. Hosting events, doing YouTube and shit.
content creation is a more reliable thing.
It's not right. Dragon don't play MK anymore? Oh, damn. Oh,
Well-
I guess that's one of the... Yeah.
I think a lot of people like are kind of not necessarily dropping off MK11, but just like there's no like unless you're gonna compete in like my thing or Aquaman's team like or Aquaman's event, like there really isn't shit to do. Like CEO is coming, but like if you would just want to play a bunch of online tournaments, I guess there's a lot going on. But if you're not into online tournaments, I can see why someone would kind of put MK11 on the back burner for a while.
Makes sense.
But
Most of the time, there's just been like a whole lot of exhibition series and just random tournaments.
pretty much, I think it's just because of the pandemic. I think once that opens up, the scene will grow
Oh yeah.
a little bit more. But Lugdinar, hey, so you said you started with Soul Calibur. You didn't get into Soul Calibur 2? Because I know that was the big game in that part of Europe as far as fighting games. Like that Middle Europe, France, Germany, Luxembourg kind of area. Soul Calibur is big.
Yeah, I didn't get. I was around 12 or 13 years old.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That
So
makes sense.
3, 2 I had on a demo, on a demo disc for the PS2, but I don't actually own the game. Soul Calibur 3 was the first I owned.
Ah.
And back then I don't know.
But
There
I
was
mean,
no such thing as online multiplayer on the PS2. I just played
Yeah.
it alone with my brother the whole night and 1 or 2 friends. And at that age, I actually didn't think about getting good or go to events or something.
now have you
in
gone
Germany,
to any
every-
events or anything in Germany?
No,
Really?
that's something
With how the way
I
you
got to
describe
do.
the scene, I'm surprised your ass didn't go to any fucking events.
Right?
I don't know any.
Oh, you gotta
Shit.
build it and they will come. Build it and they will come.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Yeah, have you tried like
Build
hosting
a
casuals?
German to build up the German FGC.
The German, like, there's a lot of fucking fighting game players in Germany. People don't realize that, man. Like, I don't know why, but I feel like Germany and Russia, or just the Eastern Europe, right? Germany and Eastern Europe and Scandinavia kind of get ignored. People think that the European scene in fighting games is just France and England. Like, France and the UK, and I'm like, no, dude, there's some fucking sweat lords in fucking Sweden and shit you don't even know about.
Oh, hell yeah, I played against some of them. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Man, as I said, I consider it to go to an event sometime, man, because it's the coolest thing ever. I imagine to go to an offline event, but like I said before, I live in a rural area, and I have to drive at least 300 or 400 kilometers to get to the next big town where there's one little small group of fighting game players.
that makes sense. Yeah, driving that far, that's what I used to have to do. Jago,
Yeah, I
you're
don't
just
drive
in New
enough.
York. Yeah,
Someday
you
I
just have to
will do that.
walk.
I mean, I'm either walking or I'm just hitting on my boys and we just saying, yo, we're just gonna go like half and half on this gas real quick. One of y'all pack some snacks. I got the weed. Let's go and
Let's
call it a
do
day.
Right. Now, Luckdanar, have you
That would
have
be
you
my
tried to
dream,
reach
actually.
out to anybody in like
You're
Germany?
Damn right.
Only online so far.
You haven't tried to get in,
Mm.
offline sets in? Have you played this game offline against a person?
MK11, not.
Okay, then
What?
you need to
I
do
did
that,
play-
man.
I'm gonna need you to do that. It's so different.
But I can feel it already. I can feel when I'm playing Liu Kang. I can feel, even though I didn't play the game offline anytime, I know when I play Liu Kang, oh no, I got to play this character offline. It would be so much better, especially Liu Kang, for example.
Now, are
Oh,
you
yeah.
But
here's what I did. This is the bootleg way to build a scene, right? Hey, are you in school or do you work full time?
I work full time.
See,
I'm already 26 years old. I'm
Ew.
old.
right? Okay, so
Oh, shit,
like
we the same age. What's good?
recruit people from work, dude. So if you find someone that's a gamer, right? All you got to do is talk shit, right? You find someone that's a gamer, and then they're probably gonna want to play Call of Duty or Halo or some dumb shit that you're not interested in.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how
or
it starts.
FIFA.
Yeah, FIFA. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're in Germany. Everybody plays FIFA.
Yeah, FIFA.
Oh, hell yeah.
Football, soccer, FIFA is everything. Everyone. Like, I know 10 people, and 8 of them got the PlayStation and just FIFA on it. And I don't. Why are you buying a new console just for one game? I don't get it. that's,
Well, I mean,
that's
I
how
know-
it's like in Germany.
I know a lot of people that do that. What you should do is take your coworkers.
Be
from
like
work.
that sometimes.
Just take your coworkers from work and invite them over to your house and have a party where you teach them how to play. And then just do that like weekly, and like eventually you'll have a small scene. But that's what I did. Was I recruited from college and work.
That's what I did during the MKX times, and like it was okay. We had 2 or 3 offline events with around 8 or 10 people. That was really amazing. That was so super fun. But yeah, that's
time
the
for a beer.
only offline experience I had so far.
Cause like here's what I did, right, to build up like some offlines for me, and like I mean, now that I stream, I just play with you guys. But when I didn't have anybody to play, right, what I did was I set up a night with a fighting game, and I invited like 2 or 3 coworkers, right, that were gamers that fucking sucked, right. I set up the game, and then I made sure that I wouldn't play. Like I didn't play all night. I just let them play, and I gave them little simple tips, like, oh, you like the green chick? Here, push back and triangle. Do that a lot, right? You know what I mean? Push down and triangle. Do that a lot. And I mean, it's like simple and dumb, brain dead shit for us, but it's like, somebody that's never played a fighting game, like push back and triangle and you will win is pretty like easy to explain, so they can kind of grasp the the understanding of the game. Going with that. And then so we would play for a couple hours, and then I would stop the playing, right? Once people started getting fatigued, I would pull up tournaments on YouTube and show them some of the hypest matches. Like, hey, now that you have seen what this game, like, now
that's
that
what I
you've got
do.
the game in
Like-
your hands,
Nah,
like, check
nah,
out
that's
what
funny. I did
Masters can
something
do.
Close to that.
That's what I would do with my cousins. Like that exact thing.
Yeah, show people tournaments. Have like 3 or 4 matches that will get hype, right? Like the commentary's on point, the set was lit, like it was real close. Big comeback, excellent combos, like just the best, like 2 or 3 tournament matches, and then just watch them with them, and then explain and discuss the matches afterwards, and then go back to playing, right? That's how you hook them, right? You get them to touch the game and get a taste of it, and they're like, okay, this is kind of fun. I can mash some buttons, and then it's like, all right, now that you have seen what you are capable of, look at what the masters can do, and then once they see the context, they're like, holy shit, you could do all of that? Like, fuck, I thought it was just mashing buttons as fast as possible. And it's like, no, dude, look at this shit. This shit's cool. And then it's like, oh, fuck, well, let's put in a couple of more rounds now. Let's do a couple of warm-up sets, just to have fun now that you guys are hype and excited from watching a cool tournament. And I guarantee you at least 1 or 2 will come back next week.
Yeah, I did
exactly.
something like pretty close to that.
Yeah, what happened?
Man, like you said, 1 or 2 came back next week.
Right. But it's all about having a structure, right? A structure that gives them a taste of the game so they can see that it's fun. And then you show them what is potentially possible within the game. Then you put them back in the game, and they're going to start trying to do the shit that they saw. And once they realize they can't do the shit that they saw, now they're going to want to get good.
Yeah, but then there's also a probability of them getting upset also.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
gonna get tight.
They are going to get mad. But like,
Yeah, it depends on the person. Whenever someone visits me, I often just play a random tournament in the background while we're chilling, and most of them like it. Most of them, nearly everybody. No one of them plays it, but they actually like to watch it. That is so interesting.
yeah, and
fighting
that's
games.
another thing that you should, like, a lot of people, if you want to build a scene, is like for a big tournament or event, like call up the homies and have them come over and watch it together. I used to have like Evo parties and shit, man. That shit was tight.
Evil parties.
Man, I remember them shits. Yo, those was lit.
Evo parties was the shit, dog. You called up all the homies and you just got the whiskey and the weed, and we were just gonna watch some fucking video
We
games.
was in there.
Right?
That shit was the best.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least you got to go to
event.
Evo, Badger. I didn't. Damn, you lucky. I went to
Yeah.
every other major. Besides that one.
Damn, I went to one Evo, and I almost wasn't able to go because I'm fucking poverty games, right? But I did go to one Evo, and I would recommend going to a major if you haven't. But building a small community, man, that's what this shit's all about.
It is indeed. Oh, look, you was about to say something earlier. My fault.
Yeah. Actually, a few weeks ago, I started showing my friends and even my parents, just showing them my beef league sets, and just here, watch me play.
You know what, dude? And that's the coolest shit.
Yeah, and try to get them into it by simply watching me, because you're not watching any person from America around the globe playing some video game. You're watching your son or your friend or the guy you know, and yeah, that's how I try to get into it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing, and that's how Katara and Rain ended up being part of the Beef Set League, and now Frost is on his way.
Nice. We're gonna get sweaty up
So-
in here. We're gonna get super
yeah.
sweaty.
Yeah,
Like,
my demons bring the sweat, bruh.
right? And this is funny because this is something I was talking about with Kiala yesterday, because I jumped onto his stream and we were like,
Oh yeah, I was there.
yeah, we were kind of
Yeah.
discussing, like building up like
Your
the
self
game
worth
and
and
shit.
shit.
And like one of those things that I was telling him is I was like, dude, the reason why I do what I do is because nobody else fucking does this shit, man. Like, I make the fucking stream that I would want to watch, right? And it's like, I remember it was a viewer that was like, dude, you know what, man? The reason why I watch your stream is because it reminds me of like the homies sitting on the couch talking shit playing Street Fighter 2. And no one else has a stream like that. Everybody is like either super sweaty, wannabe esports, or like it's like a dude chilling doing Combat League. And so like it's funny that you guys mentioned that you show the matches like on YouTube to your friends and stuff, because like that was like the main thing was like, man, I gotta like get these matches up because people need to like go back and watch and like fucking tweet out their matches and get their own clout. Like, I'm just a platform.
Yeah, imagine for me this is the first you're the first Twitch streamer or the first content creator or this community I'm actually participating in it. I mean, I know Twitch for years, but I've been never in any community. And yeah, now I'm in the BSAT League, that's for me personally, it's the first community I'm participating in, and it's fun. I love it.
It's your first. I've been hunting for exhibitions all over the fucking place.
Right.
Online and offline, but then the vaccine, I mean, well, not really vaccine, the whole pandemic bullshit.
Yeah.
So now I'm forced to play online, and I've been just hunting all over. I've been on the fucking Outworld television, if you've ever seen it. Been in
Outworld's
Smokey's
dope.
tournaments here and oh, bro, it's a real fun community, man. But now it's on days where I'm fucking working, so I can't even touch that shit anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, like that's why I haven't done much with Outworld, is because like when Outworld's going on, it's like that's Mrs. Badger time. So sometimes I'll be able to like sneak one in. I'll be like, babe, I'm gonna do this tournament, and then that's it. But like usually it's like, what? You're gonna keep playing? And it's like, yeah, maybe I'll call it this time.
Right.
But like searching for onlines, man, like I feel like it's kind of a worthless endeavor. A lot of people are taking them on.
It really is. It can be a pain in the ass.
Like if you're playing for fun, like kind of what we do, then that like, and when I say for fun, I don't mean like casual players. Like, oh yeah, it's okay to suck. Like when you're playing just to like have a good time, test your skills, and see where you stand. Yeah, but like I see people taking like online exhibition results like serious, like they fucking won fucking combo breaker or some shit, and I'm like, dude. Nobody fucking cares. Like, it's online, man. What was your ping? Was it anything more than 0? Yeah, then your shit doesn't count.
Like, if that shit was at triple digits and you still won, you really should not be talking.
Right? Put an asterisk on that. Like, and that's one thing that I really like about, like, this community is because, like, we got people like, you, Jago, you're in New York. I'm in Southern California. We're basically an entire country away. Luchtenar's in fucking Germany. J-Rose in fucking Texas. Like, we're all spread out.
The Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, we're all spread out. And, like, yeah, the lag is fucking obnoxious, but we don't disrespect each other over it. It's like, all right, man, like, the whole goal is to get good enough for online. And, yeah, I could probably stomp your ass if I just mash my X button a bunch of times and catch you fucking trying to do something other than block because our ping is 200. But like at the end of the day, who does that serve? Like I beat your ass in an online match that doesn't mean anything, and when I go to an offline, I'm gonna carry those habits with me, and I'm gonna get fucked up by somebody that knows better.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've seen that shit happen before.
And that's one thing. That's when you can tell someone's like new, because people come in and they like talk shit and they're like, "Why don't you do this? Why are Sub-Zero and you didn't just slide?" And it's like, dude, I don't think you understand, dog. Like. Your main experience may be like some online tournament and like combat league, but like we know better and we don't play like that because we're harnessing our skills for when the real tournaments come back.
That was so funny about the WePlay event because they had a chat running along the tournament, and Mr. Aquaman said during, I don't know, many people talked shit in the chat about some, I guess, too easy was it, because he didn't want to match, and everyone shit talked about him, and then Mr. Aquaman said,
I heard about that.
Yeah, and people wrote, I would have blocked that, this guy is so ass, and whatever, and Mr. Aquaman said, okay, prove it.
Yeah.
Get to the next event.
Go to the next one, and you know what? And that's where all the online warriors get exposed, because we've talked about it so many times. They'll show up to an offline. They were number 1 on Xbox Live, and they get skunked, and then you never see them again.
I mean, he didn't want to match, but he's in top 16 worldwide, so he beats any one of us easily. So don't talk shit.
Yeah, like, and Tweety's been around since Injustice. Like,
well, Tweety's East Coast, right? That's your scene, right, Jago?
Yeah.
So, like, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. When you're in, like, these hubs, right? If you're in Atlanta, Texas, SoCal, New York, and NoCal, Pacific Northwest, right? NoCal, Washington. Like, dude, if you go to a tournament, dog, like, y'all are like, oh, man, my rinky-dink locals is, like, me and 5 of my friends, like, mashing fucking Liu Kang combos. And it's like, dude, when I go to an event, when I go to a local, it's not even an event. When I go to a local, I got to fight killers. You know, when Jago goes to a local, it's like, fuck, dude, I'm going to go to a local, and the 5 people that will be at my local, or Hayate,
Will
Tweety,
be.
Sonic Fox, and like it's like we're doing a 4-man bracket, and it's Sonic Fox, Hayate, Tweety, and fucking Gurr, like just, and that's our bracket.
And I'm just sitting here like, fuck.
Right? You get those bracket anxiety where you're like, all right, man, I'm going to go to this tournament. And then you sign up and you pay your money, you pay your entrance. And you're like, all right, man, let me see who I got to prepare for. And you look at the name and you're like, oh, shit, I got Samij as my first match. Like, I literally just handed them $20 to give it to Samij because I'm getting fucked up.
Yep, enjoy my hotel money.
Right?
I'm not making it out of pools. It's over. Where the bar at?
Nah, dude, you can't have that mentality because one of my buddies.
That's just like how it be for like people who just happen to like run into a killer like on their first day type shit.
Right? Because like one of my homies from IEBG, I remember he like blew up because he was in like one of those brackets of death. It's a dude named Ringe. He's like a very well known Marvel player. And I remember we were at Evo, and like he was in a bracket from hell, and like his fucking like second match was on stream, on stage, against PR Balrog. So he was on the main stage of Evo, right? And this was his second match in his bracket, right? But they needed to fill the stream stage, so he was on stream and he was on the main stage, and he was playing PR Balrog, and we were like, "Fuck, man! I guess that's it for our homie." He ended up blowing up PR Balrog. I think he got a perfect on him. You could go back, watch Evo 2012 Ringe. I think he got a perfect on PR Balrog, but I could be wrong about that. But I remember he beat PR Balrog, and Balrog was talking like mad shit, just like shitting on him. Because again, PR Rog, he's like more the New York scene. He's more of an East Coast player. So like, even though he's out in the West Coast, like he was still talking shit, like fucking fake ass, fucking blah blah blah, fucking bullshit. He was going off, but like that just goes to show, like Ringe is just like he's a legend in Marvel now, but he was just a homie that we were drunk with at Evo, and like he got his one shot and he beat PR Balrog, like.
And ever since he beat PR Balrog, he just been skyrocketing from there. That's how it be. Sometimes you just need that one win that really, really matters to you when you don't realize it until it's over.
Or you just need to not like give up. Like, he could have easily have done your typical pools player shit of like, oh, I got Rog. Like, I'm fucked, dude. Like, I'm going to try my best, but I'm going to lose. Whereas Ringe was like, nah, fuck that, dude. I got Rog. Because our crew... Our crew at that time, it was me, like Ringe, me, D-Dub. He comes into the channel sometimes. It's Raikusen, and what's his name? Fucking Ifrit. That was like the four of us. We were like trying to chill in, and I wasn't a Marvel player, but Ifrit ended up getting second place that year, and Ringe ended up beating PR Rog. And like, dude, we started out as just a bunch of dudes fucking getting drunk playing in fucking Raikusen's garage. Like, it was literally like the five of us chilling at Raikusen's garage, getting drunk, playing Marvel vs. Capcom, and then next thing you know, one of us is second place at EVO, and the other one beat, like, one of the greatest players to ever come out of New York. So, like, that's what I'm saying is, like, start with those small, like, little gatherings, dude. Just call up the homies, do it, and start grinding it, and you never fucking know.
You'll never know, man. You might even surprise even yourself.
Right? Especially you, Luck. Like, you're actually pretty good. Like, for how laggy your shit is, I'm like, fuck, dude, this guy's execution is clean, man. That's like the German stereotype, right? The German fucking watchmaker. Everything must be precise and accurate. And I'm like, this guy's execution is clean. He's like a German stereotype with the accurate fucking button presses.
Yeah,
I was watching your matches, man.
You doing
real well, homie.
But like,
finals?
Like, execution's a big deal, man. Like, a lot of people kind of like sleep on it, and then a lot of people overweigh execution. They think if they spend 500 hours in practice mode that they'll be like winning, and it's like, nah, that's not really how it works. But like, don't like ignore execution, because I see a lot of people that just have like execution almost as bad as mine, and I'm like, you probably should be getting in the lab.
Yeah, and especially MK11 is not so execution heavy than MKX was before, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, to play MKX, you really had to have a good execution. You need to, I don't know, run cancel shit.
Yeah, run cancel needed
combos
to like really be on
to
point.
actually do something in the game.
Well, it depends on
personally
your
use
mean,
character.
M10
I
as
don't think
well.
Shinnok used a lot of run canceling.
No,
Like,
not really. I mean, Shinnok was basically the Shang Tsung of the game.
yeah, like I don't think did Sector really use a lot of run canceling. I know Smoke doesn't. Like for the most part, it was like
Yes and no.
a lot of Liu Kang and
Yeah.
Cassie and Scorpion was all run canceling.
Johnny had this one variation.
Oh
where he
yeah,
had
Johnny
Yeah,
too.
yeah, A-list was stupid in the beginning.
That's right. That's right. I remember Johnny had a run cancel.
Heavy weapons as well.
I remember being more in the lab in MKX than I am in MK11. MK11, you can be in the lab, you can lab a lot of stuff, but you in MK11 you lab more situations, and in MKX you lab more like the optimal combo and side switch combo, whatever.
Okay, but see, what do you guys
It's
prefer
different.
though? Because personally, I prefer the MK11 philosophy over X, but it seems like I'm like alone in this because a lot of people would rather a game like MKX with like high execution barriers and matchup knowledge and command list knowledge that kind of gatekeeps people from playing. And I like, whereas I appreciate and respect those things, I honestly prefer how MK11 does it. Because, like, dude, there's one frame links in here. I play Kung Lao. Like, people are like, oh, this game's too easy. And I'm like, dude, I have a one frame link as my optimal. All right, you want execution? Pick up my character and make it work. Because Splash gets top 8s with Kung Lao, so he's competitive. You can't pull that low tier bullshit, right? Kung Lao is competitive.
Yeah.
You want the execution? I have a one frame link that you have to hit confirm off of one hit, right? Down 3 orbital hat,
Right.
forward 4 spin. One frame link, and you got to confirm that one frame link off of one raw orbital hat that you can't combo off the down 3. It doesn't combo. So, like, I prefer like the execution to be like more specific like that. Like, yo, dude, this combo is hard, but if you want to shine, you can go for it. But you're not useless without it. And I feel like MKX, like, dude, if you weren't busting out smoke optimal resets, like, were you even really fucking playing that character?
Yep, and it was the same thing with Flame Fist. If you couldn't do his 4-2-1-3 into Shaolin Flame into Windmill Punch, don't play the character.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
And like,
You'll die.
I'm kind of like of the mindset that I don't really, whereas I appreciate that, I don't really.
Oh, that was my main.
I don't really like that like design philosophy just because it's like, yeah, like I've been in the scene long enough to know that like I kind of like would rather play more than just like the same 5 people. And I feel like when with the gatekeeping removed in this game, like more people can play and like understand the game and play at a higher level, which makes things more enjoyable for me because I have more people to play. And if people couldn't do half of this shit, then it's going to be like X where it's like, all right, man, like I got 3 homies I can play.
Right. Now, in terms of like you feeling alone, my bad luck, but real quick, because
No,
you
go
kind of
on.
because you kind of just brought up like something like real interesting. In terms of like you being a lone badger, I wouldn't really say that because I've competed across all 3 games so far in terms of like me getting started in competition when I used to go to offline events. So in terms of like MK9, if you've ever played it at some point, there was no variation systems. It
Yeah.
was you, your character, and your knowledge of said character versus the other guy, his character, and his knowledge of said character. Now, of course, yeah, there's always a theory of you having to pick a top tier if your character isn't really going to cut it and shit. And then we got in terms of MKX, where, like, as you said, if you're not doing this or that, do not play the character.
Right.
And then that's when the whole variation system comes into play, right?
Not really.
Then,
I don't think the variation system answers that problem. I think the variation system was answering bad matchups more than, character.
I feel like it was that, but at the same time, homie, let's really be real here in terms of like how the variation system worked out. You still needed to do the optimal shit prior to the variation you're playing.
Yeah, for the most part.
And when it came to like fucking one frame links, as you said with Kung Lao, it was the same problem. He also had to do one frame links and or was it like 2 frame links or some shit like that? Basically, it was basically like close range. Like you had to like really be on point with those kinds of combos. You could not fuck up on those links. You fuck up, that's your ass. And it's the same thing in 11. Now, in terms of like in 11, like where like Luck said earlier, where you have to like just lab out situations and shit, that's what I do like about it. But then here's what gets me tight. Here's the problem. In terms of like liking which game, in terms of which one's better, MKX or MK11. In all honesty, what's the point?
I agree. I like them
You're
both.
gonna go through the same shit. You still have to lab out situations, and you still have to lab out situations in X. Now, not as much, because if you get your optimals, then it really doesn't fucking matter. Because at the end of the day, if you hit him, that's game. Now in MK11, same shit. You gotta lab out the situations. If you get hit, damn, you're gonna probably more than likely accidentally break away. Why? Because you didn't want to get hit. Now you're screwed. Now you have to lab out that situation. Should you ever fuck up? And yet.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Still fighting at each other, and yet y'all still getting at each other's throats over which one's better.
I agree 100%. I think that a lot of people try to, and this is kind of what I was touching on without being like as like disrespectful, but like I feel like a lot of people that prefer high execution shit, it's like a crutch for them being bad at neutral. Like, because like you said, dude, like, yeah, in MKX, you don't really have to study like situations and things as much, because if you get the hit, like, it's game over. But like, you still have to study that shit. And the people that don't study that shit are the ones that they play MKX and they do all this intricate, fancy combos and setups, and then they just get fucked up in the neutral when they try to play a game like MK11. And that's why I don't like this like disagreement. I feel like MK11 is Street Fighter and MKX is Marvel, and like they're way too different, and like you can like both, but they test different skills, and I don't find one skill any scrubbier than the other.
Well, not really, because I mean, in all honesty, like, well, no, MK is kind of easier in some ways if you think about it. If you think about like if you came back from 9 and from X and how like shit has gotten changed up, shit is like slightly easier. I mean, it's not like you can do fucking dive kick combos with Kung Lao anymore.
Yeah, but like I don't feel like the game is any easier, because when I talk about the game, I talk about the game as it is and as it existed and how it's being played. And like, dude, there is no mind game when somebody picks Cabal in MK9. They're either air gas blasting you to death or they're run canceling block infinite. So like he's really making two choices. Am I far enough away to spam air gas blast, or am I so close that I have to do run cancel infinite? Like he's making two decisions. Like that's not difficult, whereas a lot of people are like, oh, but air gas blast is hard, like the execution is hard, and I'm like, yeah, but like he's not thinking. And I find more respect, and I'm more impressed with someone that can master the mental aspect rather than the hand aspect, because practicing gas blasts is that's a single player game. Like you're better at me than some fucking rhythm game, but like you can't outthink me. And I feel like MK11, it's like Ed Boon said, man, it's a thinking man's fighting game. You can't beat me unless you can outsmart me. Like practicing a single player mode for 100 hours isn't going to beat me. Even if you could land the one frame link with Kung Lao and never drop it, you still have to land the hit.
Yeah, and you still have to get around the other player's mindset.
And so, like, a lot of people say this game's scrubby, but I just don't see it, because I'm like, oh, it's scrubby, I got hit with a fatal blow, and I'm like, dude, you're the scrub. You didn't block.
Yep.
Like, yeah, he can delete your health bar with one button, but you have one button that
mechanic.
stops it, too.
That's different. With MK11 being so different, being more fundamental, neutral based like MKX, I feel I know that it made me a better fighting game player, because I have to get new techs and be, I don't know, learn new stuff, new skills like fundamentals, neutral, with punishing. And in MKX, it was so execution heavy, and if I had a bad day, I was tired, hungover or whatever, and I couldn't do my one frame link, it was okay. I can't play so good today because I don't get that one combo down, and MK11 is more like, okay, my execution today is not on point, but I can still outsmart him or make a whiff punish or whatever, and I like that. And overall, it made me a better fighting game player, a better Mortal Kombat player. I like that.
Well, because neutral transfers over, man. You can take neutral from, like, if you learn neutral in MK, you could take that to Blaze Blue, and it still fucking works, right? Like, neutral is universal in fighting games. And that's why I think, like, a game like MK that focuses more on neutral is, like, you're kind of hurting yourself by not trying to get good at it, because, like, your air dasher skills won't transfer over to, like, grounded games. But your grounded skills will transfer over to air dashers.
Yeah, exactly. And Yeah, and when your fundamentals get better, you can learn new characters easily, or the skills transition to another game. It's just overall, when I'm choking around or playing dumb in the neutral, I still get some new skills or new point of views from it, and that's what I love about MK11. I like it. Like I said, if MK11 weren't that neutral based like it is yet, and were more like MKX, I don't know. I wouldn't be
More
that
likely an
good.
MKX. That's someone starting off with running.
Well, if it was more like MKX, I don't know that I would play it. I would just play MKX. Like that's
What
like
with the new MK being like?
well, I'm saying if
Well,
MK11 was like MKX, like like I don't know, with the new game, if that's like MKX, like it has to be a better version of it. Like, cause like MKX, I feel like is like one of those like perfect fighting games to me. I know a lot of people say there's no such thing as a perfect game, but like I think that people need to like watch their definitions of perfect because in my opinion, I think of MKX as like a perfect fucking fighting game. If you're into like brain dead, run in, do big ass combos and make people explode, I can't think of a game that does it better than MK that isn't a tag team game, right? Like maybe you don't want to do a tag team game, so there's Dragon Ball and Marvel out of there. But you want to play like big ass fucking combos and like just run in and be an idiot. It's like you basically have MKX if you're into combos and then like Guilty Gear if you're into set play. So I feel like MKX is like the perfected essence of that kind of play style. So if they came out with another game like that, they've got to top MKX at least. Otherwise, I'll just play MKX. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
right.
MKX.
How would you feel if the new MK game came out with no variations this time?
I don't know that I would like that. I think variations are way too revolutionary, and I think it's a concept that needs to be explored further. I think that they've just scratched the surface of what you can do with that, and like I think that that's something that they shouldn't drop. Like there are tons of games out there where you have a set command list and like 30 characters to play with. Like Mortal Kombat earned my respect because they were willing to try different things and fail. I respect failures more than I respect someone that just does what always works and succeeds even though they didn't take any risk. So, like, if they do something, if they do another game, I would rather it either be, like, entirely different, like, or not even a fighting game. Like, that's what I want out of NetherRealm. I don't want another MK11. Just give me DLC for MK11. I don't want another MKX. Give me DLC for MKX. You got fucking Rain and Sindel in those games, and I can't fucking play them, right? Like, that's what I would prefer,
Right.
is something entirely different. Because, again, Jago, you and me, we're from the old school, dude. Like, nobody stopped playing Third Strike. You don't have to stop playing 11. And if anything, if you keep playing
no
11...
Stop playing that shit.
Right? Third Strike did not become this beloved game because people stopped playing it. It became this legendary game with all this depth. And I feel every fighting game has that depth. Everybody's like, Third Strike is so deep. And I'm like, it's not any deeper than any other fighting game. But nobody explores them. The new game comes out and everybody drops it. Third Strike got deep because people explored it for a fucking decade. Imagine what would happen if we explored this game for a fucking decade. People are saying Baraka's top tier now, dude. Like 3 months ago, Baraka was the worst character in the game, and we didn't even get a patch. And now everybody's like, holy shit, Baraka's the fucking juice. And it's because people didn't know how to play the game.
Wasn't he garbage in the beginning?
Yeah, and he hasn't been changed. He's barely been touched. And now everybody's like, holy shit, Baraka's the fucking juice. And I'm like, yeah, this game has not been explored, dude. There's fucking tech. If we keep playing this game for 10 fucking years, imagine what this game is going to look like in 10 fucking years. We haven't even explored all that the variation system has.
Yeah, there's still customs being formed.
And so I think if they come up with a new game, if they keep the variation system, I want them to innovate even further on it. I think, like me personally, I think would be the coolest thing is, so like you guys played Street Fighter. You remember a game on PS2 called Street Fighter Anniversary Edition or Hyper Anniversary?
I know it.
So
some shit like that.
So Street Fighter came out with a game called Hyper Anniversary. It was like basically kind of like the Street Fighter collection right now. It had Third Strike and Alpha and all of that. But what's really cool is if you pulled up Street Fighter 2, you can pull up like the remix version of Street Fighter 2, and what it did was it gave you every patch version of the character. So you could sit there and when you pick Guile, you could pick Guile from Street Fighter 2, You could pick Guile from Hyper Fighting. You could pick Super Turbo Guile, and he'll have a super meter. Or you could pick regular Super Guile. He doesn't have a super meter, but he has, whatever frame data he had in that game.
Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you could
Yep.
imagine if you could sit there and play unnerfed Sonya from 2019 against upgraded Jackie right now, right? Just like the current version of Jackie plus versus this patch's version. Like who was broken? Aaron Black, release day Aaron Black. Like that I think would be cool as a variation system, but to take that even further. What if the variation system let you pick like mechanics and grooves and movesets like CVS? And what if they let you pick like not only like your patch version or your version of the game, but like the mechanics, right? So you could pick the move set. Like say you play Johnny Cage. I want Johnny Cage's move set from MK9, but with the run and meter system from X. That's where I think they should take the variations. That shit would be dope, dude. Imagine if they added
so
that
you,
shit
so
to
you
the-
just want custom variations just to be on crack, is what you're saying?
just to the next level, because again, like it's not like you're building a moveset from scratch. You're just using Johnny Cage's MK9 moveset or Johnny Cage's MK11 moveset, and then you're using them, and they could remember CVS didn't give you an exact one-to-one replication of the mechanics, right? K Groove wasn't exactly Garou Mark of the Wolves. It just had just defends like Garou Mark of the Wolves. So like say you pick like the 11 Groove, and that gives you meter that refills over time instead of having to like earn it from pressing buttons, and it gave you access to flawless block. Whereas if you went with X Groove, you had meter that you had to build from doing moves, but you had X style breakers and the run mechanic. And then if you went for MK9 Groove, like that would be kind of like, what was it, C Groove, where like you don't have
My
extra
man's just
mechanics,
trying
but
to take it back to
mad
CVS too.
damage,
I'm gonna need you
right?
to stop.
Right, dude, imagine like MK9 Groove had the C Groove, like you just had mad damage and health, right, instead of mechanics.
Hell no.
Dude, that would be tight. Come on, dog. You can't tell me that wouldn't be the shit.
My man, you're basically saying to put the variation system and a
On
line of
crack.
crack together and put that shit face first in that bitch.
Don't tell me you wouldn't
Rub
play
it
that
down
shit.
real quick.
Don't tell me you
God
wouldn't
damn
play
it, I
MK
probably would. I
with
hate
fucking
you.
Grooves, MK with grooves, dog. I want grooves.
Not
so
the
bad.
groove setting. Oh shit, you really went back to CVS too.
I told you,
Yo,
I'm
people
old
still
school.
play that shit.
Yeah, they
I
fucking
am
do,
old
man.
school too. That's why I'm like, yeah, people still play
That's
that shit.
insane. That's totally insane and chaotic,
It
but in
is,
a good
look.
way. That would be so over the top. I would love it.
See, look, you've never have you played CVS 2? Do yourself a favor. Go play CVS 2 because they have this thing called the Groove system. CVS 2 is Capcom versus SNK, right? So it's Street Fighter, King of Fighters. And the Groove system, what it did was it gave you it gave you the mechanics from the game you liked. So like if you picked C Groove, your character played like Super Turbo, right? They just had big damage and big health. They didn't have like meter shit and mechanics. If you pick K Groove, you had basically flawless block and like some of the mechanics from Garou Mark of the Wolves. And I think N Groove was fucking S Groove was straight Samurai Showdown. You had the fucking POW meter and your character turned red when your health was low. Like, dude, imagine if they did that shit. Like, and then add an Injustice Groove where like you have shitty dashing and nothing but a bunch of projectiles. Like, come on, that shit would be tight.
My man said Injustice Groove. All right, now you really need to stop.
Injustice Group, you have no movement and like you have one button projectiles and like every button is just a projectile and you can't like do anything but jump.
Yo, that'd be stupid.
Injustice Group. But Luckdinar, go play CVS because it'll give you a good idea of like what I'm talking about. Because characters, dude, they function so differently with the groove. It's way. I feel like the groove system is way more freeform than variations in MK11. Because
And
like
the CVS soundtrack is sex.
oh yeah, that fucking smooth jazz.
I
Fucking-
consider it.
Fucking
sure,
Capcom
yeah.
smooth jazz era where they came out with CVS, Marvel 2, and Third Strike, and all those games had fucking acid jazz soundtracks.
Yo, that was the best.
Right. But that would be my like perfect idea for fucking like MK12 is like keep the variation system how it is in MK11 where you can pick certain moves, but also have a groove on top of that. And then just think
That
of
would
like
be
what dumb
completely
shit.
insane, but I like it.
And then make
Sounds
each
fun.
of the game's move lists be a slot, right? So like say you want like Scorpion's like command list like fucking Hellfire Scorpion from MKX, so you could select that variation's move set as like one slot and then add to that and then add a groove. And so like your base form, you would pick like your base form, right? MK9, one of the 3 variations from MKX or your MK11 base form, and then you add your variation moves and then you select a groove. And then you just fucking go, dude. That to me would be the innovation on the variation system that I want to see.
Imagine that, like in MKX, there were rarely any defensive options. Like you had, what do you get in MKX? It was just offense all the time. You got this.
No, you had push
or
block.
whatever.
Yeah, you had
Yeah,
push
and
block.
it cost you 2 bars or whatever.
Yeah,
or
that
1
was
bar, I
dumb.
don't know.
That was dumb as fuck.
And you basically never saw it. And when you saw it, it was so
it was like meh,
amazing.
like out of nowhere, just that one time you're probably gonna see it.
Push block should have been free and just costed stamina. Like half of your stamina. So if you did push block, you could use the
That
frame
could fix
advantage
it,
to
yeah.
dash in, but like you'd be using half of your stamina to push block and then the other half to dash in. So like depending on your character, it'll limit how much you can capitalize off of a defensive maneuver. Kind of like how flawless block is. Like, you know, you can't really get a lot of damage off flawless block. It's just literally a defensive maneuver to make them stop pressing on you, and like you can punish with a small combo. Like if they did that where push block took half of your stamina, because then you still need the other half to do whatever combo, but it would make you not like oppressive. Like if you could push block and then run in their face and have full stamina, like that would be bullshit. So I think they balanced it by taking your meter. So you'll have full stamina, but we're going to take your meter, and I think they should have done it the other way. Because like at best, you're going to extend like 1 extra bar on your meter. It's not like you're blowing your whole fucking bar on 1 combo.
Yeah, even 1 backdash
Right.
costs you 50% of your stamina bar. MKX.
Yeah,
Like,
man, the current
how
patch,
should I with
Jesus
punch anything? Just go in. Just
Right.
run in and do your 40% combo, whatever. Don't ever backdash. Don't do that.
Man, if you get a hit while even just trying to run or whatever, you lose that whole bitch.
Right?
And you can't break, even if you have the resources for it. So, damn.
Right, you're right.
Right?
That
There's
shit was
no
garbage.
Oh, breakaway, you need your whole
You would try
stamina
to
bar.
break, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden you would just see that red flash, and then all of a sudden you just want to cry.
Right? Yeah, dude. Whenever I play
like,
MKX.
you got the
Go ahead.
resources, you got hit, and you can't break.
Oh,
that just fucking sucks.
Yeah, I had a.
Yeah.
Often you were like, oh, why can't I break out? And then, oh fuck, the stamina bar's empty.
Yup.
Oh, fuck.
Funny.
Or even if I think it was
Happens
even
to me
like,
so
I
many
feel like even
times.
if you like lost like maybe half of your stamina bar, you couldn't even break. Even if you lost maybe even that much. Yeah, so
something
backdash
like
was
that.
even a bitch.
Yeah, and
Backdash
you
was
got-
invincible
got you
though.
backdash,
Fuck, dude,
and you get hit.
invincible backdash. That shit. Oh, dude, I felt like
Yes.
MKX was scrubbier because of that. Because like in this, if you wanted to blow up a string that had a flawless block gap, you have to like at least be good enough to flawless block it. Whereas invincible backdash, it was like, oh, he did the 3rd hit of his string. I'm gonna push back, and then you die.
Right?
Like that shit.
Yeah.
But like I
That
feel
was
like,
very heart wrenching to just look at.
right? I feel like MKX has the mechanics that MK11 needs, and MK11 has the mechanics X needs. And that's why I was thinking about groove systems, because I was like, dude, if breakaway worked in MKX the way it does in MK11, that shit would be fucking tight, dude. Like being able to
Would be.
fucking armor break somebody and restart the combo in a game with big long ass combos. Like the breakaway system in this game is like kind of a waste. It's like you broke away on like, you know, he had like 2 hits left and he was gonna do another 10% damage, like whatever. You know, like, but breakaway and MKX, like, because there's so many combo routes and combo paths, like, they could actually, like, think, you know, like, in this game, it's like, do you do the optimal or do you do the safe, right? Whereas in MKX, it's
Right.
like, okay, but I got the restand, I got this, he has to know the timing for the breakaway to punish me here, like, there's all kinds of shit in order for him to get that breakaway punish, but breakaway in MKX is just reset to neutral. And I'm like, if the
Yeah,
breakaway
basically.
system from 11 was in X, there'd be mind games on top of mind games. And, like, this game needs a breakaway that just resets to neutral. Like, what the fuck? You gonna get up and punish me for 30% of my fucking health because, like, I decided to add an extra 5 damage to my combo? Like, that shit's fucked up. That shit needs the MKX breakaway. Just reset to neutral, man. The damage is too low in this game.
Well, you're not wrong there.
It's just all like a lot of the mechanics, man. I think like if MKX had the I love the meter being cooldowns in MK11. Like I really, really fucking love it. I think that's probably one of the coolest things I've ever added. And a lot of people say like, oh well, that's whack because you don't have to earn the meter. And I'm like, no, because it makes you have to think, man. You gotta wait. Like that meter's gonna come back in 12 seconds no matter what. So you have to think about how I'm gonna fill these 12 seconds and not get fucked up. Whereas like in MKX, it's like, dude, I'm Katana. Like I'm 3 fans away from a bar.
Basically.
You know, it's like if he blocks 3 fans, I have a bar I can amplify, and then I amplify, I get the hit, and now I'm 3 fans away from another bar. Like, I don't know, man.
Hell, if Cyrex had a bar, you might as well put the controller down.
Yeah. Especially in...
Yeah, I used to think like that, but in NK11, when you cornered or something, and you can get that plus frame, flawless block up to and get out of the corner, for that reason, it's okay for me.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wish they did get fixed, where flawless blocks kind of like had I don't know, like a kind of a bit of a change. Because in all honesty, I kind of hate how the way it is in some ways.
Yeah, I
like I like it, but I hate it.
What do you hate though?
Like the fact that that's for some characters, if you actually really needed to do an up 2 or even an up 3 for fuck's sake, sometimes that bitch would not reach.
But
you
see,
would just get
I
punished for punishing.
Yeah.
I like that, like, Liu Kang has bad up 3s and up 2s. Like, because, like, come on, man,
I like
he's
it, but I
fucking
also
good,
hate
dude.
it.
Liu Kang with a good up 2 would be fucking dumb, dude. Because, like, his
Most
offense
of the
is
top
so
tiers
fucking...
have bad up 2s and up 3s.
I think the
Jackies
person
are
that has, like, the
bad.
best up 2 in the game is, like, Kung Lao.
Kano as well.
Kano's
Yeah,
is
double
okay,
hit.
but it's double hit, so, like, he can get auto-shimmied really easily. Because it starts up pretty late. Like, all those
Fair
really
enough.
late starting ones, and then, like, Garrus's used to be the best, but, like, his damage output off of it is so trash without blowing all of your meter that I'm like, I'm not really scared of it. Whereas with Kung Lao's, it's like, dude, if I land my up 2, and that shit has range, that shit can reach. If I land my up 2, that's a quarter of your health, unless you break away, in which case I now have your bars. So, like,
Hell,
I like
you want to
that
talk
they're
about
different.
garbage damage output? Try doing an up 3 with Kung Lao for an anti-air.
Right?
Shit is
my
ass.
God. Oh, my God.
The fact that you can still combo off of that bitch makes me mad. But the damage output just makes me want to cry. And I don't even play that character.
But see, I love that they're so different like that, man. Like, you know, that was one of the things that I liked about MK11 was that everybody, like, had different wake-ups. People complain, and now we have the up 3 system that we have in this game. But I thought that was one of the best parts of MKX was that some characters just had shitty wake-ups. You got to hold that. Right, but they were like Shinnok had or what was it? Quan Chi had no wake ups, but he had the fucking bat loop and shit. It was like, yeah, he has no wake up. If you knock him down, he's fucked. But like, how often do you knock him down? Like, he didn't really need the wake up.
I see where you're going with that. All right, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like and then they nerfed Quan Chi, and he stopped being able to do the dope shit. But they didn't give him a wake up, so they basically deleted him from the game. Like, he just doesn't exist.
True.
So, like, I like the wake-up system and the flawless block system in this game, and I understand a lot of people's, like, criticisms. Like, people don't like that you can flawless block out of plus frames, but I think that's fucking dope because I've played tons of games where you can't do anything in plus frames. And in this game, if you have skill, you can at least fight your way out. Like, it rewards people with the skill to flawless block, but people fucking hate that because it's like, skill only counts if it's my skill beating you up and showing off how dope I am. I don't like it when you can do something skillful to blow me up.
Yeah. But to like MK11, you need to like the flawless block. And for me, it's one of the most fun mechanics in the game, actually.
It is. It does come in clutch because it can really, like, turn shit around.
Someone jump 3 into me and then up 2 and get, I don't know, conversion of 30%. I just love it. Yeah, you can argue about it, whether it's competitive or not, that the different characters have different versions of up 2 or up 3, or they're not default, but yeah. That's part of the character decision, in my opinion.
Yeah, and like to me, it's like people complain that MK11 isn't skillful. They're like, oh, MKX was way more skillful. And I, like, disagree. I'm like, MKX was a lot more scrubby. Like, you could do a lot more dumb shit in that game than this game. This game doesn't let you do a lot of dumb shit. But people say that flawless blocking through plus frames is scrubby. And I'm like, dude, are you not looking in the mirror? Like, if you couldn't flawless block through plus frames, like, plus frames fucking matter in this game more than I've seen in other games. Like, dude, if Fujin gets you in a restand in the corner, you basically have to hold that without flawless block. Like, if there was no flawless block, you just got to hold these restands, and there's nothing you can do. And then you just get 50-50
Basically.
all day, right? Fujin restands you in the corner, strike throw, into restand, grab, into Oki, strike throw,
Yeah,
into
you don't
restand.
want to deal with that.
And you can't do nothing. Like, imagine Devora
Imagine if
without
Fujin
flawless
was
block.
an X.
Ooh, Fujin and X with...
With everything you just explained, imagine if this man was in motherfucking X, bro. He would be retarded.
Dude, because he's basically Kenshi with a good up-close game. Because, like, I look at Fujin's playstyle, and he's basically Kenshi. He's, like, doing windy pushes and shit. Like, they took Kenshi's special moves, and they made him Fujin's normals.
Basically, bro.
You know? And Kenshi was
if you think of the Cyclone, then yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. I remember when I had to fight Steve, and he was playing Kenshi. That shit was annoying.
Right. Oh, wait. No, you probably had to... Isn't Pig of the Hut from your area? Oh, no, he's Midwest, right?
I think he's Midwest.
But, like, fucking Pig of the Hut's Kenshi and fucking MK9 just, like, push, overhead, push. And that's why I don't like fucking Fujin in this game, because he plays like Kenshi in the old games, but he's not nearly as exciting to watch. Because Kenshi was a troll
happy
character.
that he doesn't have a fucking overhead.
He does have an overhead, though. He has
Not
a
an
fucking
overhead starter.
No, but nobody has an overhead starter except like Terminator.
Yeah, but imagine if he did. Kenshi had one as well, but imagine if Fujin had one.
Yeah, that would be dumb. Although I kind of wish there were more mix-ups in this game, because like I feel like
I do.
Strike
I do
throw
miss
is
that.
fun, but like I don't know. To me, it's not because I like mix-ups or I want more mix-ups, but I look at what people do in the game and like. Sub-Zero is not designed to be a mix-up character, but people like mix up with him because it's fun, and I think that they should just add more mix-ups to the game just because people seem to like that shit. Like, I don't like it, but people love it.
It's true. I don't know why, but
For me, strike throw is more fun, but it's harder to do actually.
Strike throw
Really?
is harder to do.
I feel like that.
With fuzzy guarding, yeah,
I
dude,
feel like
strike throw is
it's
deadly.
harder to do.
all right, fine, fair enough. If you're gonna count fuzzy guard, then all right, fine.
And that's what many people complained about. Yeah, Scrub Zero, whatever. Get this MKX character out here and whatever. But yeah, you know, you can play Terminator. He's even more mixed with machine. If you like that.
I just think it would be cool if MK11 had the neutral and space control that it has, but also gave you the ability to mix up people when you got in close. Like, people are like, oh, but it would be broken. And I'm like, no, because Tekken, that's Tekken. Tekken has the fucking space control, and then when you get in close, it's mix-ups. Like, and nobody thinks that Tekken is, like, unplayably bad, you know? People love Tekken.
Yeah, and I feel like NRS try to go the same route with 11 in terms of you like just labbing out situations and shit where whether you're neutral ducking a grab or just straight up weaving a high just to get a full combo punish, or if you want to be simple with it, a crushing blow.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
And I like the situational practice a lot. Like, I honestly don't do it, but I feel like situational awareness in the game is something that you don't have to go into practice mode. You could just play a lot. Whereas I feel like execution, when that's the skill gap, like you can't. I don't feel like you can level up your execution without practice mode. Like with situations, you could play your friend and it's like, oh, he keeps doing this frame trap. Like you're either an idiot or you figure it out and eventually stop it. But like with execution, it's
basically
like you unless you're gonna spend time in practice mode, you're not gonna level it up in matches.
Yeah.
And I always
right.
default to like I think that the fighting game is best when you can get good just from playing matches. That's why like one of my favorite fighting games of all time is Soul Calibur 2, because there's really not a whole lot to it, but like there is depth, there is technical shit, but like you could literally become the greatest of all time at that game just from playing like sweats with your friends rather than spending hours in practice mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you can also benefit from shit like that. Because while I've been competing and I just been playing against the straight up killers like every fucking day and night, I eventually just leveled up and just started like improving it each week every time I went to next level.
Yeah.
So I see exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm not against like high execution or anything. Like again, I play Kung Lao. He's got a 1-frame link. I go for that shit. Like I go for that shit. But so like I'm not against execution, but I feel like the fighting game community as a whole like dick rides execution like it's the only thing that fucking matters. And if the game doesn't have like 500 1-frame links per character, then like this game is trash. And I'm like, dude, like you want Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah,
you don't want a fighting game. You want DDR. Like, go play Persona Dancing All Night, man. Then you can have your anime characters and your fucking execution checks. And you don't have to worry about me grabbing you and fucking breaking out of your combo. You could just sit there and practice your rhythm all fucking day. Because that's all combos are. It's just a rhythm game.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's, and so, like, I don't have a problem with execution because I think that's an important thing to test. Like, can you maintain composure under pressure? Can you make sure to not fuck this up? Because it's hard. And you need to not fuck it up when you have pressure and someone behind you calling you racist names at a tournament. You got to be able to not fuck up this combo. That I do like.
All that kind of shit.
I do
the crowd
like
in the back, everything.
Yeah, but I think it should be situational. Like, I don't think every, like, Liu Kang, Fire God Liu Kang, like, you can't even play him if you can't do the hard shit. I feel like hard shit should be like Kung Lao's 1-frame link. Like, yo, dude, I need to make a big comeback, and I know if I land this combo, he's dead, but it's not an easy combo, so let's just fucking throw the dice and hope it happens. Like, I like it when it's more situational, because then it's exciting. When you see Fire God Liu Kang, you're not really impressed after, like, the third run cancel combo. You're like, all right, he's good. He can do that. But whereas when a Kung Lao lands a 1-frame link in the match, you're like, oh, shit, I didn't know he could do that. He ain't even tried it all match. It's more exciting.
And then on top of that, he killed
Yeah.
with that combo. Like,
it's more
after
exciting
all
when
that
there's
damage
less.
he took.
Yeah, but they could have done it easier for new players when they could do the tutorial right. I remember when I played Street Fighter 4 and you picked your character and you go in this character tutorial like, I don't know, Bison for example, and they had this green, yellow, red.
Oh, yeah.
I know
You're talking about the combo
what you're talking
trials.
about.
Yeah, and the green is like perfect, you want to stand there. Range 2 is orange, you don't not want to be here. Red is, oh no, you lose here and this and that. That's a tutorial thing. Well, as far as I can remember, in the tutorial MK11, they don't teach you the situations.
They do, but not for each character.
Yeah,
it's
for
like
each character it's a
general.
little different.
Street Fighter does that, as far as I remember. You have these areas, green, yellow, red, and like I said, and that's
so
how
basically
you learn the character. Then okay, green is green area, okay. And this area, my character is range 1 and 2. In this area, in this range, my character is really good. I want to stand here.
It's like so Street Fighter basically added my 10-minute guides to the game.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what MK11 for me was lacking. Before I discovered your guides, and I didn't know about that. Now I surely know about that, but not in detail. And I saw it in conclusion. One video was that's what I was thinking the whole time. But I can't find any other telling me this. And they could do that in tutorials in future for next MK. I would love to do that. It would make it a lot easier for newer players. But at least they know, okay, you don't know nothing. Press 1 is your punch, press 3 is your kick, and stand in this green area and just hit these 2 buttons. So they get into this neutral stuff in this situation. Would it make it a lot easier for newer players?
Yeah, I'm like touch and go. First of all, just Dave, thank you for the raid. I'm touch and go on like tutorial content. Like I get why a lot of people want it, but I kind of side with the developers on not really putting in a whole lot of tutorial content into the game. And the reason for that is like it comes to the laziness of like the current generation of gamers, because like the value I found from like getting good at games was like learning from somebody. It's like an apprenticeship, dude. It's like, you know, it's like martial arts, right? This guy, he's fucking, you know, he trained under this guy who trained under this guy. Like there's a lineage and a legacy with that. And it's like, dude, I trained under Alex Valle and Eris and Mike Watts. And like, you know, like that shit is cool to me. And I feel like the game, instead of having like an easier tutorial, like they should just make it to where you have to seek out the information from the masters. Like to me, that's like in theme with fighting games. Like I want to get good, I need to seek out a master. And there's YouTube and shit now, right? Before, I like to seek out a master, I had to be at the arcade at 5 o'clock on Wednesday because that's when Alex is there. You know, nowadays I can go to his YouTube and I can watch all his shit. So like, why spend development time? Yeah, like why am I going to spend development time putting a tutorial in the game when YouTube exists and it's far better? Like if you're complaining about a tutorial in the game, I feel like you're just lazy. Like you could just go on YouTube. Why are we gonna like that time spent building a better tutorial could have been another character or another fucking hour of story mode. It could have been a million other things that you could have fucking gotten for your money instead of something that you get for free on YouTube.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. But I get a lot of people are like, oh, I wish that like I think Dead or Alive did it. Right? Dead or Alive did it to where they actually gave you links and shit to the fucking YouTube channels in game, right? So like they had like content creators that were like official Dead or Alive content creators, and like when they released a DLC character, you could go in the game and instead of buying the DLC, it would give you a link to like fucking whatever DOA player that did a tutorial on that character. And that was in game. And then they didn't have to do anything. The fan did it. And I bet you they sold a lot of DLC, like, well, it's DOA, so they sold a lot of DLC. But, like, I bet you they sold a lot of DLC off of, like, that. And I think, like, content creators are going to explain that shit way better than some fucking, like, you know, fucking software engineer with no social skills. You know, have you ever seen some of these devs try to, like, talk to the, like, watch the Combat Cast, and you're like, yo, these guys have no public speaking skills. I'd rather learn this shit from fucking Maximilian or something, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Or you have to go to the locals. Yeah, go to your local dojo, fighting game dojo, and learn from
the masters. I think that they should. I think
spend a good amount of hours getting your ass beat.
Right, but instead of adding a better tutorial, they should just give you better ways to like research it, right? Because like a lot of people, like they get a lot of like value out of my 10-minute guides. What if like instead of a tutorial, the game instead of like, oh, okay, here's 5 scorpion combos, but they just provided a YouTube link to my guide. You know, like I feel like that would be a better usage of development time rather than trying to make a better tutorial, because here's the deal, people learn differently. What I find to be good tutorial content may not help someone else, but there's an infinite number of content creators catering to different learning styles. So you could find the one that's for you that will teach you in a way that you'll understand better than any like general tutorial that I can make for the game that would be one size fits all. Because some people just don't get any value from my guides. They're like, dude, this is stupid and doesn't make any sense. And then some people are like, yo, this fucking changed my mind. Like, I have no idea. I've been playing this game wrong all my life.
Yeah, I can see that. If you do a tutorial with every single aspect in it, it can be so overwhelming for a new player. And that, oh no, that's too much. I don't play this tutorial. Just hop online and play. And yeah.
Yeah,
like I did it. Whenever I feel ready enough for a new tech, or I got the feeling, I'm missing something, there's something I don't know, then I can look it up by myself. When I'm ready for it, and then I'm ready for it because I'm actually looking it up. And
well, I mean,
everything is in the tutorial, and it could be too much, and then no one ever plays this tutorial because it's overloaded with information.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the big news in fighting games is the fucking people just found out that all of SRK is like gone. It's wiped from the internet now, outside of like you know, archives and shit. And a lot of people are lamenting SRK going down because the wiki for SRK was like the one-stop shop for the games that they had wikis on. Like if you wanted to learn CVS and you went to the wiki for CVS on SRK, like you were learning CVS. because it was like it gave you links to every like content creator, every like breakdown of every character, and that's what people want. They want a fucking wiki to learn the game. So I think instead of making a tutorial for the game, dude, this game's gonna be fucking online only anyways, right? Put in a fucking wiki. You want to learn Scorpion? Here's a link to Averic's channel. Here's a link to this guy who makes tutorials. Here's a link to combos and shit. And like they don't even have to fucking curate it. They could just before the start of the match, like or before the start of the game, look at the content creators that they like and put their links in the game and just let it be. Right, and then maybe add one, remove one, depending on who's there. But it's like it's low, that's low effort to put a link to a YouTube channel in the game would serve far more people and be far more helpful in people learning the game than any kind of tutorial. Because people will ignore the tutorial. But, like, you look at Virtua Fighter, how it, like, has, like, online matches. Like, when you're in the menu, it has, like, online matches showing you.
Yeah,
right?
I saw that shit.
Like, imagine if fucking when you logged into MK11, it would give you, like, a 5-minute clip of, like, you know, fucking Sonic Fox's tutorial on Kotal Khan. And then you could click that link to watch the rest of the video, or you could just fucking play the game. And I bet you people would learn so much more and so much faster with that. And, like, this is technology that I don't think people are really taking into consideration about improving and growing the fighting game scene. It's just a bunch of whiny bitch asses who wish they had a tutorial that taught them everything.
It could turn out, it could even turn out to be worse. Imagine if there's everything is in the tutorial, every single information that could actually prevent a new player from hopping into the game and playing online.
Oh yeah, how many people look at Tekken and they see a
imagine
500 move
it,
list?
like, 12-year-old Cherry was saying, "Oh my god, I don't play this game. I can't even make it through the tutorial. I don't get it." So they never played the game because the tutorial was too much for them.
Or even just Tekken. Like, people look at Tekken and they're like, oh, wow, 500 moves per character? Yeah, I'm never playing that. And it's like, Tekken is not that bad, bro. Tekken is really not that
deep.
bad. Like, you have 10
like,
moves.
bro, there's even a button. There's a whole button on it that even shows you what the moves are like. So you don't even have to do it yourself. You can just look at it.
Right? Like, you know, I feel like these tutorials and all these menus and math and frame data, it's overwhelming. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody bought Mortal Kombat to, like, look at math and play a tutorial. They bought it to play, to do karate with Scorpion. You know, like, that's why you bought Mortal Kombat. The quicker you get to karate with Scorpion, the more likely someone will continue to play the game. And any kind of gatekeeping or anything that keeps you from doing karate with Scorpion is something that will keep you from playing the game. And so I think they need to figure out ways to, like, stop those, right? Stop those little gatekeeping things that keep people from quitting or that make people quit. Figure out a way to mitigate that and keep them in the game doing karate with Scorpion more often and more frequently. And that's how you grow the scene. Because the game sells itself.
Exactly.
Right. Well, we are at 100 or an hour and a half now, which is usually where we call the podcast. Any final thoughts from you guys? J-Ro already left.
Well, see, my final thoughts. I'm actually looking forward to the finals, and honestly, I'm looking forward to doing some more of these again.
Nice. Shout out your socials too, so that way people know where to reach you if they want.
Okay.
Oh yeah, y'all can definitely follow me on Twitter, on Twitch. Jago, it's the same as my Discord, same in the chat. You don't know where to find me. And
you, Luckdinar, any final thoughts? Socials?
Yeah, same here. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Name is the same, Luckdinar. And yeah, maybe we see us in the Open Series on the BSAT League. You know.
Right.
Maybe.
And
I have a final thought.
Aren't you in the finals?
And
we are
when
going
you're
into
from
finals.
the EU, hit me up.
What's that? Hello? Oh, I think his mic broke out. Oh, well, anyways, I don't have a final thought. It's my fucking show. If you want to know my opinion, you just stick around. But we're going to call the podcast there. We got to get ready for this league. Things are going to get pretty hyped today. It is finals day, so I hope to see y'all there. Thank you to RM Jago. Make sure you give him a shout out and follow and subscribe and whatnot. And a shout out to Luckdinar, Lukdanar. I don't know if you guys know how to spell his name.
Thanks for having me.
Make sure to look him up. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.